Father and Son Story. Author, Truyen Lam, March 26, 2024. Teach a child the way he must follow. Even when he returns to old age, he will not leave it. Proverbs 22 verse 6. Let's raise your eyes to me. How far you can see is how far your life will be. Truyen Lam. Thank God this morning I had the opportunity to take my son Tim, to school. Sometimes the father and son at home talk to each other too much until they go out on the street. There is nothing to teach their children anymore, and in my heart I hope there is something to talk to my son on the way to school. I started the story of staying healthy. I confided to Tim, I show you 3 ways to lose weight so that dad is sick like Timothy to be handsome. Mom loves dad. Timothy laughed. Then Tim showed dad enough to make him healthier and could live a long life with Tim. On the walk, the father and son talked happily. Today, due to the cold weather in the morning, Tim wears a warm shirt with a neck pocket behind him. I said Tim put on top. Tim listened to Ba and Tim put on a pocket hat behind his neck. But when he went, Timothy did not look straight ahead to go, but kept his head to the ground and walked with Ba. Perhaps because he was afraid of cold air entering his face, Tim walked while the end of his face to the ground. At that time, I also took advantage of the opportunity and told Tim, look up your eyes. How far you can see is how far your life will be. Tim replied, yelb. And Tim raised his eyes straight, walking straight ahead. So thankful to God. Having short moments to be with your children and teaching them is what parents like me always want. There are very small things about them that I myself often don't pay attention to encourage them to have positive thoughts. Sometimes convert negative words into positive words, and to help them have a firm faith in God, in the good life that God gives you. You forget because work is too busy around you every day. The things God has given around me, such as family life, children, relationships in God, society, and other useful things that I myself pay little attention to for reasons A, B, C, and D. And also from this busyness, has it made me clamp down and has been a material slave since when I don't know? This Friday, March 29th, 2024 is the day of my church where I am living. There is a celebration of Jesus' sacrifice for the sins of humanity, including me. Since then, humanity no longer has to be guilty, no longer a slave to sin. Through the death of God, mankind was reconciled to the love of God because through the life of Jesus brought healing of the breakdowns that the ancestors of mankind, Adam and Eve, sinned. Jesus died, and he rose again. He ascended and will return to welcome the dead and the living to him. That will be the time when God will reward those who believe in God and serve him wholeheartedly. Question of reflection. Do you believe in Jesus? Do you live in harmony with your family? Do you still have material slaves in this world? And do you live with what God teaches? Prayer. Lord, forgive my sins. Although I have believed in God for many years, but the spiritual life is still cold to God. The work of serving others is still late. There are still many things in the family that are not positive. There has not really been a trust in his presence. Please forgive me, and I want to invite you to reign in my heart, in my home, in my workplace, and wherever I go. Please be present and guide me to live well with God's teaching. And so I myself receive sweetness from God, useful to myself and to those around me. Amen.